Who would have known that the best financial advice in the entire world would come from TikTok? That's right. The app that has all these catchy dances and all the get ready with me makeup videos. That's right. That app that all the Gen Z is using today. And they just might be the richest generation to ever exist because they are adopting this very simple approach to money. And that's called loud budgeting. You may be asking yourself, literally, what the heck is loud budgeting? I never heard that in my entire life. Well, guess what? It is the tactic that is going to be making this generation millions of dollars. And lucky for you, in this video, I unpack everything there is to know about what is loud budgeting and how the heck we can use it in our everyday lives to make us richer. What's up, guys? This is your boy, Kenny Finance, and I consider myself a Gen Z person today. I'm actually not, but today I'm acting like a Gen Z. And we're going to unpack the elements of loud budgeting. And for this video, I have 3 core missions that I want to tackle. 1, I want to outline what is loud budgeting. 2, I want to help you guys understand the benefits of adopting a loud budgeting lifestyle. And then 3, I have 5 effective tips to have the best loud budget possible. So let's dive right in, guys. So let's unpack what is loud budgeting. Well, it's a term that was coined by this TikTok star called Lucas Battle, which is essentially highlighting the open communication about personal finances. That is right. Taking whatever you do with your money, how you make it, how you spend it, how you deal with it, your fears around it, taking all of those emotions and elements and communicating it. That's right. Putting it out into the world, being very transparent, being vulnerable with your finances. That, my friends, is loud budgeting. Loud budgeting aims to eliminate the social shame around spending, saving, and budgeting. It's very simple. And the key way to remember what the heck loud budgeting is that it is a way for you to effectively turn people down for experiences or spending things because it does not fit your budget. In my view, it is a way to tell people very, very, very loudly, no. Turn them down and say no because it is way too overpriced, it doesn't fit your budget, and it is not helping you reach your financial goals. Now that is very, very difficult. Do you know how ridiculous FOMO is in the world today? Of people that are trying to keep up with the Joneses, buy things they don't need, fit a social scene, try to look cool for that girl or for that guy. Everyone has a friend that they know that tries to do that ridiculous stuff with their money. But we're living in an age today where you have a voice, you can speak up, and you can simply say no to experiences, no to things, and say it proudly and say it loudly because it doesn't fit your budget goals. So a really good example of loud budgeting. Now you have friends that want to go to the bar and spend a bunch of dollars on drinks, which I don't recommend, by the way, because here, I'll take 5 seconds to explain this. A bar or a club to get bottles, etc., they're taking a bottle of alcohol that you could buy at a liquor store or a grocery store for $40, and they're selling it for you for $30 or $20 per drink, or $500 to $1,000 per bottle if you're popping bottles. So don't do that. So what I would do as a loud budgeter is I would text my friends in group chat and say, hey, FYI, bottles and drinks at the bar are way too expensive. It does not fit my budget. Can we possibly pregame with I don't drink, but like a non-alcoholic drink that's cheaper? Or if you do drink, something that is a lot cheaper that I can bring myself, that I bought myself. Is that okay? And if they say no, get rid of those friends because they're not helping you reach your financial goals. But if they are okay, boom, you saved all of you guys a lot of money. That's an effective way to turn down these things that don't fit your financial goals. And look, I'm not saying to not have fun. I'm just saying step up a little bit outside of your comfort zone to say no proudly with your dollars and simply tell them there's a cheaper alternative that we can do to still have the same amount of fun. I'm gonna go this way, you all can do whatever you want, but I'm gonna stick to my budget. And if you have really solid friends, folks that are part of the Kenny Finance community, FYI, they're going to be the ones that support you to save and invest as much as you possibly can. Now let's quickly talk about the benefits of a loud budget. Number one, it removes the shame around the discussion of money and saving and budgeting. No one likes to talk about it. It needs to be said sometimes. There needs to be boundaries that are set, and loud budgeting gets you in the habit of just doing it proudly. So let's get that shame out the door. Number two, empowers people to take charge of their finances and their everyday needs. You are the one that is putting all the work in day after day, all those countless hours to generate that income. So you be the boss in deciding where your dollars go. Do not be influenced with anyone else that is trying to get you to spend money that's not essential, that doesn't fit your needs. Don't do it. So I encourage you to work hard, take that income, save and invest as much as you can. Get yourself an emergency rainy day fund so that you can always be set when things go awry, and make sure that you take care of yourself because it's literally your money. And don't feel swayed by folks that want to live a very extravagant lifestyle. Simply say no. You have that right. You're a loud budgeter. Say no, set those boundaries, and try to set your financial life in the best track possible. Number three, it encourages honest communication and, importantly, accountability. And on the accountability point, that is super important because if I'm telling my friends about my loud budget and how I'm simply saying no to a lot more things, my good friends are going to be the ones that hold me even more accountable. They're going to be the ones that say, okay, hey, Kenny, I remember your text from last week saying that you didn't want to go buy bottles, that you were saving X, Y, and Z, and you brought a bottle of wine. I like how you're doing that. I'm just checking in, seeing how your saving and investing is going, and how can I be supportive? Do you need any ideas of what I do with my money? That's the accountability part. Surround yourself by financial winners that want to see you hit all your goals. And then 4, long term, this is going to have significant payoff. That is because you have cut so much spending from unnecessary expenses, or you've reduced the level of extravagance because it doesn't fit your financial needs. And the thing is, if you do it the right way, cut spending so you have more savings and you pay off your bills, you have more dollars to invest, it only helps you long term because it gives you more dollars to work with to invest, build more wealth, get more compound interest, all that jazz. But it simply starts with your ability to say no today on things that don't fit your budget needs. All right, let's dive into my 5 tips to have an effective, loud budget. So number 1, you kind of need a budget. So for this budget, let's set up a bunch of different things. Well, first and foremost, you can do a 50-30-20 budget. This is essentially having a sheet or an app or whatever that may be that follows the 50-30-20 rule, which says that 50% of your income is spent only on your needs, thinking about housing, food, transportation, utilities, medical bills, anything that you need to pay to live. 30 is talking about your wants, things that you kind of don't really need to live, but you want because it's a cool experience, meaning your dining out, going to the gym, Netflix subscriptions, all that stuff. That's 30%. And FYI, this 30% of your wants is typically where your allowed budget can play a significant role to reduce that spending. And then lastly, 20%. 20% of your income for saving and investing. And I encourage you to maximize this as much as possible. But remember, allowed budgeting can tackle this 30% of your wants. And there's a bunch of other budgets out there, but to make this as easy as possible for you, down below in the description, I have a link where you can download my free 50-30-20 budget, which is simply a Google Sheet where it can help you track all of your expenses so that you can make sure that you're on track every single month with your 50-30-20 budget. And you can simply take that, take a snapshot of it every single month, send it to your friends and be like, hey, this is the type of motion that I'm on. Do not get me off track my 50-30-20 budget. All right. So it's another tool to keep yourself accountable, and it's free down in the description below. And what's actually kind of crazy as it relates to this is that I read a stat that said a little over 55% of Americans do not use a budget. That is terrifying. That means that more than half of people in America are literally freewheeling this whole concept of saving and investing and spending money. It's ridiculous. So equip yourselves with a resource, a budget or app or whatever that may be. Find something that you can stick to every single month so that you can stay on top and on track with your dollars. Please, 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 please do not fall in that 55%. I legit will be pissed if you do, because I'm giving you guys free game of how to simply stick to a budget. So just listen, all right, and stick to it and try to keep yourself as disciplined as possible when it comes to spending your money. Because look, it doesn't hurt me if you don't budget. You're the one that's going to show up on Monday morning, going to the office, going to work, and having to work all those hours, put up with that ridiculous boss. You got to deal with that, not me. So I encourage you to make sure you stick to a budget so that you can enjoy the hard fruits of your labor, because you deserve it. All right. So get a budget. Step one. Number 2 is set clear financial goals. That is right. I'm not simply saying buy a Lamborghini by age 30. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, like, have very specific, tangible, and achievable SMART goals that help you figure out, 1, what do you want to do with your dollars in the short, medium, and long term? But then 2, what are the things you need to do on day 1, meaning today, to put yourself in a good position to execute on those goals? And what's a good example of a very simple SMART goal? Very clear. I want to have a emergency savings fund of 6 months of my living expenses saved up in 1 year. That's right. So I'm giving myself 12 months to stack up 6 months worth of my living expenses in my emergency savings fund. I gave it a deadline, I gave it an amount, I gave it a tangible sort of descriptive point to it, and I'm gonna stick to that, and I'm gonna follow that, and I'm gonna track my progress every week, every month, etc. And what I'm gonna do then is automate a lot of it so that I can save as much as I can regularly to hit my goals. And other stuff could be saving up for a down payment for a house, it could be having a certain balance in your investment account, it could be anything else. Just write those down, have it very clear in front of you, and stick to those goals regularly. Number 3 to this awesome loud budget is build the habit of looking for alternative, cheaper solutions to whatever you're spending your money on. That is right. I want you to live frugally. I'm not saying live cheap. I just want you to live frugal, meaning that every time you decide to spend $1, meaning it goes from your pockets to someone else's, I want you to take the extra 5 to 10 seconds to a minute to think about, is there something that is cheaper that gives me a similar quality of an experience? Meaning, if I love Starbucks, but it costs me $10, is Dunkin' Donuts that much worse? Is the coffee at home that much worse? X, Y, and Z. Or another example, if you have a phone bill that you have to pay literally $100 per month for, and you realize that other providers have half off, sign up with them. Or pick up the phone, call your phone bill company and say, hey, all of your competitors are offering me a discount of 50%. Match that or I'm leaving, right? Get loud on the phone with them. Very clear examples. I want you to, every time you decide to spend $1, have the habit of searching for cheaper alternatives. Very simple. And you can have plugins on your computer like Price.com or ShopSavvy, which make the process very simple if you're shopping online. These are different ways that you can sort of systematically find lower cost alternatives for things that you're definitely going to buy, so you might as well save the extra dollars. Number 4, avoid impulsive purchases. Impulsive purchases can be the ridiculous thing that derail you from having a very sound budget and financial progress. That is because impulsive purchases have absolutely zero rationale and it doesn't fit into the 50-30-20 rule. What's ridiculous is that the average person spends $100 plus in impulsive purchases. That means that they're spending $1,200 literally a year in impulsive, unnecessary purchases. And that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars in your lifetime that you're spending on things that you actually don't need. So let's avoid these impulsive purchases. Let's put those dollars into things that actually matter, meaning better spending or saving and investing. And let's just avoid this impulsive nonsense as quickly as possible. Here's a really cool strategy to avoid some impulsive purchases. I like to call this the 24-hour rule, meaning that if you're making a significant purchase, whether it's a TV, a car, or a membership, or a house, or something that is like actually has a lot of value to it and kind of hits a dent in your wallet, I want you to wait 24 hours if you can to think on that purchase and the different options. And if you still are desiring that certain item or experience at 24 hours, then buy it. But more times than not, if you give yourself 24 hours to sleep on it, you're probably not going to fall into the trap of impulsively buying it. Another tips is do not buy a purchase when you're emotional. All because you're having a bad day does not mean you need to be screwing up your financial future. First and foremost, take care of your feelings and your emotions and your mental, but do not let one rainy moment ruin years of a financially abundant lifestyle. So let's just try to figure out and not make emotional purchases. And then other little stuff like don't fall for the free shipping, the 50% plus discounts on all these different websites, or like the little thing that spins the wheel and get you something for free if you spend a little bit more dollars. All those are traps. Avoid those as much as possible. But more importantly, try to avoid these impulsive things because it doesn't fit into your budgeting lifestyle. And I want you to do a lot better than falling for traps that these companies are making billions of dollars off of you for. So try to stay as disciplined as possible and only spend when you absolutely need it. Okay? I got you here. All right? Focus. All right, my last and final tip for an effective loud budget is to share your loud budget. That is right. I want you to share your loud and budget on social media with your friends. Get a group chat with your best friends. Do whatever you can, but share and be transparent and communicate your loud budget, because I think it has 4 essential benefits. 1, it helps you get more comfortable talking and being transparent and vulnerable with your loud budget. Number 2, you can actually find better tips and resources if you can share it with others, because they may give you feedback, they may share theirs, etc. Number 3, it helps you find an accountability partner, someone that's going to be down for that ride to help you make better financial decisions. And then lastly, number 4, it might actually have a positive impact on someone else's life. You never know who's watching and never know who's listening, and someone out there may be in your shoes a few months ago, and you could be helping them today. So share that loud budget. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video on understanding the benefits and the purpose around loud budgeting and how you can implement this into your everyday financial life. Let's do what the Gen Z folks are doing, because they're doing nothing but getting richer. And I think some of that stuff can actually help us build a better financial lifestyle. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys smash that like button. And look, having a loud budget is one thing, but another thing is you gotta watch out for the bad missteps of money wasters. And for you, I unlocked this video on my 7 terrible money wasters that have kept me back personally a lot by spending and wasting thousands of dollars, and I'm regretting it now. But I made that video for you guys and hope you check that out and enjoy it as well. And look, spread the news with your loud budget, put it to the whole wide world. You never know who's listening, and you never know whose lives you could impact. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace and love, baby.